atmosphere, the music, the bosses, the game mechanics, the bosses mechanics that you have to dodge. All of that is insane, brother. This is a masterpiece. Don't come at me with that. In fact, the complaints that you can say about the game are in the endgame. And one of the complaints that a lot of people have, including myself, about the endgame is that it is not more like the campaign. We want it to be more like the campaign because the campaign is insanely cool. Hey guys, I have this video here that caught my attention that is called "Is the Path of Exile 2 campaign just bad? Debate between Cyclon and Try." This caught my attention because it is, of course, the video is from Try. Maybe they were like talking in one of those chats Try has. And this caught my attention because the campaign is the best thing in PoE 2. It is amazing. It is a masterpiece. I couldn't understand anyone saying it is bad. Even the people that criticize the game always preface everything by saying, I don't like PoE because the endgame sucks, but the campaign is amazing. So I have to see this, brother. I have to see this.
We kind of skipped over the campaign. That's totally fine. Did you enjoy the campaign of Path of Exile 2? Or are you like a campaign is kind of whatever?
Well, I think the campaign in Path of Exile 2 is, in terms of lore and letting you interact and know what's going on, is better than PoE 1. You can still rush through it if you don't care about any dialogues. You get a little bit more than a PoE 1 campaign.
Yeah.
You don't know why suddenly there are gods and suddenly there's a pantheon and suddenly things is dying and suddenly you're in a blood zone. But you get roughly what is going on, or more detailed going on than in PoE 1. But overall, it's still gonna be, if you don't get invested into the campaign, you just rush through it. And if you don't get invested into running the campaign in a way that's fun for you, be it running it fast or finding all the lore, finding all the secrets.
What I'm doing right now, going through the campaign in Hardcore Solo Self-Found, just punching, just using the punch, the Rocky Challenge. That is a way you improve it. But I see that they are talking more about the story in here, right? And I do think that this is an improvement over PoE 1 in terms of storytelling. In PoE 1, you play the campaign, you don't know what the fuck is going on. In PoE 2, everything is understandable, everything is cool. And it is not the greatest story ever told, but it is decent enough, it is good enough for a game of this genre, dude. And what is a competition? What the fuck is happening in Last Epoch? Tell me. I don't know, and I don't give a fuck. In PoE 2, I know it is cool and I like it. So in terms of a story, you can't say it's bad. It is not bad. And you have Asala in Act 2 with the big titties, and you have the best gear for me. The one that I like the most is the, I believe she's called Chambering, the blind girl that sells you stuff. That is the best gear. Bro, over 60% of you are not subscribed. Why are you like this, dude? Just click the button. It is easy, it is quick, it is free. You get content, I get a sub. Win-win situation. Just click the sub button, my dude.
It's gonna be tedious. And especially because of the pace.
Tell me, ADL. Tell me, you know this, brother. You know this. You are laughing because you know this. Is there a girl in PoE 1 that is as hot as Asala? No way in fucking hell, dude. I don't know. Maybe there is, but I don't think so.
In PoE 2, being very different than in PoE 1 and overall just being a very slow pace. Like you're stuck on the same skill for levels, and then between Act 2 and Act 2 difficulty, cruel difficulty, your skill doesn't change at all, and then you finally unlock the last new sets of skills. The pacing just feels off and makes it very tedious on your first run.
He has a point in here that I will agree on partially. But maybe that is a symptom of not having Act 4, 5, and 6 and just having to run again the cruel difficulty. Cruel difficulty is weird. Let's be honest, guys. It is true that when you are like in Act 5 or what would be Act 2 cruel, what would be Act 5, like it is like you outscale the content. Like the first time you run the 3 acts is harder than the second time. That is called cruel. That one should be harder, but no, it is easier because you have more experience, the build is more developed or whatever. And I don't know, you outpace the content in a weird way. I do think that it feels weirder when you are in the cruel difficulty. I don't know if that was precisely his point, but that is what I derived from it. And if it was, I agree. The idea of PoE 1 where you go from killing a couple guys, then all of a sudden killing like 20 gods, the power scaling is nuts. That is also true. Like you start on the beach killing whatever, and then you fight the beast and you kill it. Like, dude.
I did a practice run, or I tried to do a practice run on SSF, and while I did my semi-trink runs, where I just like even had only 10 exalts invested into leveling gear, just because you run Act 1 with runes and actually have damage on your items,
Yeah.
in Act 1 goes, instead of taking 1.5 hours with nothing or 2 hours with nothing, to not even 1 hour with something. And the pacing is just completely insane different.
Oh yeah.
So I think the campaign feels too tedious way too early. It should...
No, I don't agree. The campaign early is awesome. And the difficulty is good. You want this to be a cakewalk. The campaign is nerfing itself because you know what is happening. You are going to run this shit 1,000 times. Do you want it to be easy from the start? No, fuck that. The campaign was not tedious. The campaign is awesome. I don't agree.
Feel less tedious early and can be okay, a little bit more tedious towards the end of campaign, but I think the tedious part should rather be in the end game than in the campaign, because the end game is where people get truly hooked.
The campaign
and
is
the
not
campaign
tedious.
should be a bit more inviting.
It is inviting.
See, I have had this
Everybody
debate
loves the
with
campaign.
a few different people and my friends about the introduction to Path of Exile 2. So Act 1 mainly. I've heard a lot of people say that it is tedious and it's very slow, and then
it is a
right
masterpiece.
at the start of Act 2. You feel that the entire pace pick up. There are more monsters.
No,
You're
it
moving
doesn't.
faster between areas.
It was awesome
especially
from the
if
start.
You happen upon or are smart enough to look for movement speed boosts. That's like the #1 thing. I actually talked to my
Definitely.
brother. He's like,
But that doesn't have anything to do with the campaign. That is like if the movement speed should be on the boots or the character should be faster. That isn't related to the campaign. That is a core game design stuff. What? That doesn't have anything to do with the actual campaign, dude. The campaign is fucking insane. And I am not talking necessarily about the story, which is cool. I am talking about the boss designs, the sound design, what you have to go through, everything. The campaign is like how you play, because in the campaign, the combat, and yes, I am going to say it, guys. I know some people don't like it, but I am going to say it. In the campaign, you have meaningful combat. All of that is awesome, my dude. All of that is fucking awesome. And you lose a lot of that when you get to the end game. Don't give me this crap. I love the campaign. It is the best part in the game, dude. It is so that you have to do that check twice right now, because you do it in cruel difficulty, and I have done it with each single ascendancy. So how many times have I run that fucking campaign, dude? Because then you have to do it twice. Like, it is insane, and it is not tedious. It is not tedious. Fuck that. I disagree completely. You can have that opinion, but you are completely wrong.
One down.
thanks. So he didn't have movement speed boots until Cruel, because he didn't know that this was a mechanic, okay? And then he swapped over from no movement speed to 20%, and he said the game almost opened up. So he's telling me, oh my gosh.
It is true that when you get movement speed, shit is different, brother. You can dodge more stuff. It is not only that you go faster through the game. It is even that in the gameplay that you have to dodge stuff, it is easier to do because you move faster. It is like, yes, movement speed is insane, dude. Yes, bro, Act 1 to 3 is the amazing experience for me. I'd rather play campaign than endgame, bro. You are completely on the money, dude. I completely agree with you.
They need to get a quest reward that rewards movement speed boots, because this just changes your outlook on the entire game. And I'm just, it's a difficult thing to grapple with, you know, in ARPGs, especially Path of Exile. It's a game all about knowledge, right? And once you know, hey, okay, I start the campaign, always go to the vendor, look for all the magic boots, look for 10% movement speed, always pick up all the boots. It's an instant power spike to your character and your progression, right?
Yes, it is.
And I feel
Movement
like
speed in the campaign is insane.
I think the first time you're going through in Path of Exile 2, the tedium in Act 1, and I know this is a spicy opinion, is okay, because you are in the learning phase.
Not an spicy opinion. The correct opinion. Everybody loves the campaign. This is in fact, this is the first time I have heard someone says that this shit is that they don't like the campaign, dude. Like, this is the first time. Like, I have heard people say that it is too difficult the first time. I don't think it is too difficult. It is because you don't have the knowledge, like everything the first time you do it. But I have heard that take. No, it is too difficult. Act 1 is too difficult for a beginner. But I have never heard that they don't like it or it is tedious or they don't know or the pacing of the story is bad or whatever. I never heard that. I have heard that people don't know what is happening. I have heard that one too.
And every subsequent time after, you feel like you're learning and getting faster and faster and incrementally improving, and that's...
Brother, they didn't even let me use the flask. I was spamming the flask. I am never going to level up at this pace, dude. Fuck!
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Brother, this game is watching. This shouldn't happen, dude. Like, this doesn't happen when you are in the meaningful combat in the campaign that we are talking about. Now in the end game, they just screw you over with this bullshit. That you die out of nowhere. Fuck this game, dude. This is so fucking stupid, dude. This is the stupidest thing I have ever seen in my life, dude.
one of the reasons I love Path of Exile 1 and 2 at this point, because I always feel like I'm incrementally improving. But
yes,
I do
yes,
understand
yes.
people thinking it's just too slow, and new players
It
will
is
just
not.
maybe bounce or
No.
think.
That happened to that bounce happened to PoE 1 players that wanted the same speed of progression. New players that never played PoE 1 and just are introduced to PoE 2 loved it. They thought it was awesome.
Oh, okay, well, Act 1's super slow, so the rest of the game might be like this. And then there's the opposite problem, Cyclone, where people are like, oh, Act 1 is this pace? The rest of the game is like this, especially the end game.
And it is not like that. Yes, that is a problem. That is a problem.
I think I have spent a lot of time improving my campaign time in Path of Exile 1. And I looked forward into learning the campaign of Path of Exile 2. And engaging with it, practicing it, and running it. But because of the pacing, like in Path of Exile 1, I'm getting close to a stable 3:15 campaign.
Wow.
And I'm just zooming through. I understand the things to look out for.
Now you understand the context. That is why he has that opinion on the campaign on PoE 2. Because he is watching it through the lenses of a speedrunner. He's not looking at it through the lenses of just a dude going through the campaign having fun. But optimizing stuff. How do I optimize this shit? Like, yes, there is a place and a moment to do that. But the first time, enjoy the ride, brother. Enjoy the ride. This is just a ride, dude. You get what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
And I practice and it's fun. But in PoE 2, if you do the same thing, it just because of each practice run or each act taking so much time, especially if you do non-trink runs like SSF, migrated before, so you have no previous currency, no items prepared, nothing prepared. There's just a big issue of it takes so long to do these runs that even if you try to minimize time, it still feels like it just the pacing just.
So what are you suggesting, my brother? I understand that you have fun playing the game this way, and I am fine with challenges. You guys know that I am fine with challenges and weird ways of playing the game. You like speedrunning, I support you totally, and it is cool that the game can be a speedrun. But what are you suggesting? That the developers create the campaign thinking that this shit is going to be a speedrun and we have to make this fun for the speedrunners? No, motherfucker. They have to do, and that motherfucker is not offensive. It is like saying it, you know. They had to make this for everybody, for people to just run the campaign, you know. For people to have fun playing the campaign, like just a cool campaign. Don't think about the speed running or any of that, you know. And I think that so far they have accomplished that. This campaign is fucking insanely cool, dude. The scenography, the story, the pacing, the characters, the little comments that your character makes. For example, the mercenary, when he comes to one place, he says something cool. All of that makes it insane, dude. The atmosphere, the music, the bosses, the game mechanics, the bosses mechanics that you have to dodge. All of that is insane, brother. This is a masterpiece. Don't come at me with that shit. In fact, the complaints that you can say about the game are in the endgame. And one of the complaints that a lot of people have, including myself, about the endgame is that it is not more like the campaign. We want it to be more like the campaign because the campaign is insanely cool. That is the truth, brother. Ask a lot of people. They are going to tell you exactly that, bro.
Enjoyable for me engaging with Path of Exile 2 campaign. Like, I don't want to spend 1.5 hours in PoE2 Act 1 hoping that I find a rune and a good bow on a ranger, or
Right.
hoping that I find a good wand that actually do damage, that I actually can continue my stuff. And like, imagine in Path of Exile 1 when Act 1 go, if I have like 2 or 3 mistakes in Act 1, I just reset it. Now I have 5 minutes lost, 10 minutes lost maybe. In PoE2, if I don't get I already run for an hour, I still running on a white bow because I got unlucky with runes and transmutes.
You are describing, this is the, like, one of the cool things about human beings, that we have different perspectives about the stuff. You are describing this as a bad thing, and what I am hearing is cool stuff. It is nice that the campaign is like that you have to interact with the campaign and actually do your stuff, and it is not like, oh, I am going to craft this item and I am going to blast everything and I don't care about anything. No, you have to play the game, dude. You have to play the game. That is cool. And there are still setups that make the campaign trivial in this game too. So, what?
And then I need to reset and run another 1 hour Act 1. It's just gonna be always on the tedious part. The first play run, doesn't matter how much
is for a
experience
speed
you
runner.
have, until you get to like to the extreme threshold where like Havoc is at, or the people that actually do speedrun Act 1s, and you know exactly what to do and exactly where to get your power. It feels a little bit too tedious at all times, in my opinion.
It's so fascinating to chat about this because Path of Exile especially, I feel it attracts so many players who enjoy optimizing the hell out of their experience in a good way. Obviously, we have Path of
That is
Building,
what
we
the
have all
game
of
is
our
built
extra
around, let's be
tools.
honest.
We have people who are perfecting their speed run.
It is only me that enjoy the moment of finally getting that good piece of gear. No, everybody enjoys that. Everybody enjoys that. But that moment exists because you didn't have the good gear. If every gear you get is good, that moment doesn't exist. That moment exists because you are struggling with bad gear and then you get good gear. That is something that people don't think about, dude. I don't agree with him at all. Me neither, dude. I understand his perspective as a speedrunner, but I don't play the game that way, so I don't agree. I have fun in other ways. Someone tell him to stop. He didn't check vendors after every level up. That's where the campaign gear was at. Yeah. And then the dude that we saw the other day that made that video saying that the game was bad because you had to check vendors. Then you don't want vendors to be cool. I like vendors being cool, dude.
For literally over a decade, like Havoc, who has now moved to PoE2 and is doing it in PoE2 as well. And right now,
Don't forget
so I get
spreadsheets.
spreadsheets, they're playing the game in spreadsheets, and then Path of Exile 2 comes along. And you know, I love PoE 1 and I'm still gonna play PoE 1, but I was aching for something new, and I do feel like it has brought that new experience.
I know that a lot of people say that PoE 1 is better because it has more content and more endgame or whatever, and I am going to tell you right now, and this is the truth, and this will be the truth moving forward when we get more content. PoE 2 is better, dude. PoE 2 is better. Take it to the bank. Cry in the comments below. I am not saying PoE 1 is bad. PoE 1 is awesome. It made possible PoE 2. I love that PoE 1 is being kept and it is going to get updates too. But PoE 2 is better. That is the truth. That is the truth. Get mad if you want. Get mad.
Experience where when I'm playing Path of Exile 2's campaign, at least right now, I'm not trying to necessarily rush through it or optimize my exact route through it or know exactly what each power threshold is for my character. Where in Path of Exile 1, man, I do that all the time now. Like if I'm not streaming, I'm like, oh, I gotta rush as fast as possible to end game. I remember like on League launch days, my wife always comes in here and is like, oh, are you done with the campaign yet? I'm like, no, I'm not done with this stupid campaign. And that's going all the way back to Metamorph, which was my second League ever. I just feel like they're I don't know, I can't really place it, but I just enjoy the PoE 2 campaign so much more than the PoE 1 campaign.
Yes! Based, try! Based! That is a based opinion, try, dude. Based! Fucking based, dude. This called habit because you play PoE 1 13 years and zoom everything. Exactly. They develop the familiarity with it, and when something is different, then you feel the shock. You feel the difference. He's been out for 10 years. Of course, it has more content than Mao. I know you. Yeah, yeah. Bro, of course, PoE 1 has more content. What the fuck? Of course, PoE 1 has more ending content. What the fuck? Where has common sense gone? PoE 1 has been out for years. Exactly. And that is why they said, well, then you should have taken advantage of that and let the two games be merged. No, that comes with a lot of disadvantages because PoE 1 is also, it has a lot of content, but it's also too loaded. I am glad PoE 2 is separate and we cut the fat out and we start from scratch. Thank God for this. Thank God for this, dude.
Almost because I'm embracing it for how they designed it, whereas Path of Exile 1, I am on your side and I am blasting as fast as possible through that thing. I don't know how to reconcile that. Isn't that?
I have seen, guys, I never got into endgame in Path of Exile 1. I never finished the campaign. But I have seen videos of people zooming through the campaign in PoE 1. Not through the campaign, sorry, through the endgame in maps where they are really zooming. This is one of the zoomest builds here in PoE 2. This is one of the most broken builds. And yes, this is bullshit. This shouldn't exist. I agree that this shouldn't exist in PoE 2 either. And this doesn't go like, this is not even 5% of the speed that you can accomplish in PoE 1, dude. So when I see a video of someone zooming in PoE 1, if I think this is too fast and this is stupid, imagine what I think when I see a PoE 1 endgame build. That is not gameplay that I think is cool, dude. I know that some people are going to crucify me for saying this, and on top of that, not having even tried it, just seeing it on videos. But that is not gameplay that I see and I say, I have to try that, I want to play that. That is too zoomy, dude. That is too zoomy. That is my opinion, at least. I will hopefully try it in this event and I will see it for myself. But this is my opinion a priori, you know. Or a priori is like how you really say it.
More time.
I only know of one build where you can zoom the whole map in 20 seconds and you clear it. Yes, with Temporalis, which is the rarest fucking item, the rarest and most expensive item in the game. Like, it is okay that you can unlock some zoom bullshit with Temporalis because not everybody is going to have that item, right? But that it is the default, that everybody plays like that the game is played like that, that is bullshit, dude. That is bullshit.
Oh, I'm getting swarmed under.
It's like hypocritical almost of me.
Maybe, but I think you said exactly.
It is not hypocritical, it is cool because you are adapting to each game. In that game you play Sunsumi and you enjoy it. Great, awesome. In this game you are slower and you enjoy it. Great, awesome. That is how you adapt. Instead of trying to make PoE 1, PoE 2, or PoE 2, PoE 1. Like, that is the best way. Try. You are based on this one, my dude.
What I kind of said in a different way. You found a way to enjoy Path of Exile 2 campaign, and this is how you got enjoyable. For me, Path of Exile 1 campaign was very tedious, until I started adding a timer to it and looking to always improve my time. And suddenly I was playing, I think before 3.25, I was playing one Act 10 run, or early on Act 5 run, then Act 10 runs every single day for 2 months to just get my time down. And it was fun. I had fun playing campaign for 1 to 2 months.
Yeah.
But I don't have this fun in PoE 2 because the way I found fun in campaign doesn't work for me.
This is very specific to him, dude. I don't even think we should bash him for his opinion because this is a situation that is very specific for him.
That same way in PoE 2. But you found a way to have fun with campaign in PoE 2. So for you, campaign in PoE 2 is awesome. And I think that exactly.
Yeah,
you need to find a way to enjoy it. It doesn't need to be
so we should be understanding of his side.
Anyway, embracing the challenges one way, and it works, and it's fun. And the 100%. Same thing goes for every other aspect of every other ARPG or every other game. If you find a way to enjoy it, it's gonna be amazing.
No, that's a lovely message, man. And
good
that
perspective. Yeah. I love that comment, dude. I love that. Nice, Cyclon. Nice. Base in there. Okay, the video is over. Brother, I took that 9-minute video and we turned it into a half an hour affair. It is like I can watch videos, brother, because like 1 minute of video is 5 minutes of real time for me. It is like, my dude, what are we doing, bro? What do you think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I a clown? Am I a genius? Let me know everything in the comments below. I love reading comments even when they don't agree with me. Also remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are fucking awesome. God bless ya. And remember, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride.